Hi all, welcome to WebTechies. In this video, we are going to see the professional way of creating the personal portfolio with responsive web design. For this, I have used Visual Studio Code. Okay, since I have created already a new folder called website, and here I am going to add the files which are all needed for this website. So let's add a first file, okay, index.html, and we are going to add CSS and JavaScript file by clicking this folder. This is like a, so I'm going to put all CSS into a single folder called CSS. Either you can have CSS folder or you can name it as style folder. Okay, so here I'm going to make it as CSS, and all scripts will be there in script folder. So this is the best practices which we are following in the real-time projects. So we have CSS folder, we have the script folder. Now let us start with simple HTML code. So for the first, we have to go with the doc type. So this is the way that you will have to put the doc type. And next, HTML. In HTML, we can have a lot of properties, but right now I'm going with a simple way, so I'm not going with any properties here. So once HTML tag is now added, now we are going to add the head tag. So if you use Visual Studio, automatically the index of the tabs, means index of the tags will be created. Okay, no need to worry about that. The indent, because whenever you are creating an HTML, the indent of tag is most important, because then the code will look really neat and it can be easily readable. For those reasons, we are having the indents for each and every tag. So now head is completed. Now title. So here I'm going to give the title as a portfolio. The next part, I will let you know there are a few more parts it's needed here, like meta tags and all. We have to since we are going to responsive, we have to use a meta tag and all. I will explain you in detail one by one. So before going to meta tag, let me add the CSS. There are two ways of adding the CSS. One is internal CSS and other one is external. So we are going to do the external CSS. For external CSS, I'm going to create again a new file inside the CSS folder called style.css. So we have added the style.css. So here we have to incorporate that style.css. So for that, link relevant equal to style sheet, and href, here we are going to map the style. So this part is done. So let's say if I click it, it will redirect to my CSS file. So let me save the file, and we are going to add script.js. So again, script.js, basically you can add it the bottom of the body or before the head. Either way we can add it. So let me add here for now. So now we are going to add the script file here. So src equal to, we have to add the script path here. So now script.js. So we are done with the basic structure, right? So this particular script.js, either we can add it in the head, but for the best practice, we have to add this script.js under body tag. So here the bottom, I'm giving this. So what will happen is that when the page loads, okay, so the HTML will render from top to bottom, right? Okay, so whenever the page coming from the top, so it will load first see a style sheet, and in the bottom it will load the script page. So what will happen? The page will get loaded faster. Okay, so for maximum for those reasons, we are using the script at the end of the body. Okay, so now I'm saving this. Okay, so now we have loaded two things. What we have loaded? We have loaded style.css and as well as script.js. Right? Now, I'm just going to add a simple h1 tag. That's a heading tag. So I'm just giving the heading as portfolio. Let's save it. In the bottom of my Visual Studio Code, I have a tool which I installed, that is so called Go Live. So I'm clicking that one. May not be able to see that, but I'm clicking that one. So when I click on this, you can see this particular HTML has got loaded. Just give me a second. I'm trying to showcase you. So 1 minute, guys. Yes. So here, yeah. So I hope everyone can view this now. Right. So this is a portfolio H1 tag which we created. Okay. So now what we can do is, there is, before going to type the code, okay, you can do it with the help of inspect tool, where you can do the minimum slides, CSS or HTML thing, whatever the things which we can do it in the console itself, in the inspect element itself. So let's say, for example, I'm inspecting this particular tag. Okay, I want to change the color of this tag. So what I can do, in this element.style, okay, let me type color. This is the CSS part. Now we are coming into the CSS part. Okay, so here you can see color. So color, I'm changing the color. So I like the color blue. So either blue or whatever the color, whichever the pleasing for the look and feel. Right? We can give the colors. Right? So I'm going to give the the color which is, one second, guys. There's something is happening. Okay, yeah. Since it's Alice blue, its color is not visible to our expression. Okay, so now, where you can see, I hope you can see, right, the color. Yes, so the color is there. So now let me give some dark, some different color. Okay, let me give the color as blue. So you can see that blue color which it's been added over here. Okay, so now what I need, I want the background should be yellow. Okay, background of the heading should be yellow. So here background, I'm giving us some different color, either yellow or anything we can give to attract the the front end, right? That's the most important thing. You can able to see here you can able to see that already the color has been applied. Let me see, whichever is best there. Let's go with this cube. Okay, so this cube, but the blue won't be looks good there. We can change it to black. Okay, sorry, I think the black is not the correct one. Okay, so now it's come. Okay, now let me align the text to center. So it came in the center. Okay, so now if you see here in this browser where I have added the Bootstrap link. So what will happen with the help of the Bootstrap link is it will help for the responsiveness basically. Okay, this is one of the framework from the style sheets. So it will be more helpful, when you are doing the responsive websites and all. Okay, and it has more lot of classes, predefined classes, which is already available in the Bootstrap framework. Okay, so now I have created, see earlier if you see I have added the h1 tag, but now I added one more tag called div tag. Under div, I have the h1 tag. So what I did is like this div tag, I gave the class name as container fluid. You can see here this container fluid is directly coming from, well, is directly coming from Bootstrap file. Okay, where you can see the link right in this bottom. So it is entirely coming from Bootstrap. Okay, but now we need few modifications, or like we are going to override the CSS because for this particular container file, because if you can see in the top where both sides are showing bit gap, right? So let's say for example I'm going to Visual Studio Code now. Okay, let's say for example what I'm going to do is like I have a code here, okay, which I already developed. Okay, so I'm just cutting this and I'm going to paste it under my CSS file. I'm saving this file and I'm saving this file. Okay, let's see whether it's applied. Yes, it is applied. Why? Because I'll tell you the reasons. There are a few reasons which I did some modifications here. If you go to the the style of CSS where I can see I have made it as important. So what do you mean by important? Means this will overwrite the existing CSS class which is already I know there in the Bootstrap plugin, right? So this important parameter will override the existing class. So that's the reason now it's the entire header tag is gone in the from left to right it's full sticky, right? Yes. So now what I did in this header tag where I changed the class to heading and I gave the the what are all the relevant things needed that I added. Okay. So now let us add the responsiveness meta tag. Okay. So for that we have to add a meta cassette. Okay. So for meta cassette, go to the HTML. Okay. So after the head tag, even before the title, we have to add a meta tag. Meta. First, I'm going to add a cassette. We'll explain later what is cassette and all, but this is the UTF code that we have added. UTF -8. Okay, this is one of the meta cassette, and now we are going to add is for the viewport that is responsive. So I'm going to put a comment here, responsive meta tag. So why I'm adding comment? Because in future if you want to refer it or if you want to explain to anyone, you can say like here I have added this thing. So you can also know it, what you are doing it, right? So in future you can look into it. So meta name equal to, so now this name which you're going to add is viewport. This is for purely for responsive. And now we are going to add one more property called content. Okay, so content equal to width equal to what the width? Width will be the device width, comma initial scale equal to 1.0. Now close the tag. So this is the tag for responsiveness. Okay, so now if you minimize or maximize your the header will be like it will be matched with the viewport size. Okay.